Bang! Neeves Knives, I'm Jared, and today we're checking out some AURORA knives. I've never had them on the channel, so I'm actually pretty excited because I've always wanted to have some on. This reminds me of a little stiletto, and it looks pretty cool. But while you're looking at that guy, check out its big brother. Look at that thing. It is so massive. This is at least a 5-inch blade. It could be longer. It is a big blade. This is, woo, that's a long, look at this. If I hold it all the way back here where my pinky's at the end, look at how much handle's out there. You want to talk about pokey? This guy is pretty small, but this is about standard size. I can get a full grip on it. Nice little blade. Obviously, these are, you know, stiletto style manual knives. But they have, I believe these ones are in D2 steel. And then they have steel handles, and they have, you know, because steel's heavy, so they did put a lot of milling in there, put the lock bar cut out on the inside, good access to the lock bar. Because it's such a heavy blade, it is very drop shutty, and it snaps out there. It kind of feels cool. It feels definitely unique to snap out such a slim, long blade like that. You know, they are thick though, because, you know, being the style blade, they're like a bayonet style blade shape. And I love bayonet style blade shapes. These are flat grinds though. If they were hollows, they definitely have a little bit more, you know, cutting potential. But what it's gonna do is it'll be exactly what it's trying to be, pokey. And then if you need to open up a package or, you know, slit something open, you can, because it's still a blade. It's just not going to be a super slicey one. This little guy is also very, very snappy. They both have a reversible deep carry clip that you can just take out those screws and flip to the other side. And yeah, it's pretty damn cool. It's definitely something that knife guys would love to have in their collection, because this definitely has some wow factor to it that is pretty damn cool. And I wonder if you could use, yeah, you could probably use these as wave features. I just realized that. So when it's in your pocket, you go to pull it out, you can wave that sucker right out of your pocket, bang, and then you got a sword in your hand, because this is definitely a pocket sword. Let's get to the next one. Now this next one is the Siri. Now the Siri, there is a ton of versions of this. They have smaller ones, they have assisted ones, D2, this one's S35VN, non-coated, coated, different colors. Lots of options when it comes to this guy. Bayonet style blade shape, once again, just like the stiletto style knives. G10 scales, steel liner lock, good access to the liner. And it is a tactical knife. Now, it reminds me a lot of like a Bob Terzola. This is the ATCF by Fox, basically like a replica of his original ATCF. And then here is an automatic version. So this one is by ProTech. It is a hard-hitting auto, but you can kind of see where I'm kind of getting that from. You know, it kind of has the bayonet style blade shape to it. This one even more so because of the swedge. Now, this is robust, very robust, but you can tell this thing is made for poking, slashing, and general purpose, because that's what a tactical knife is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a knife that's good for just about anything, like an all-terrain style knife. Whatever situation you get in, it'll work. This is robust in the hand, and it feels like, I feel like I could do a lot with it. It's very comfortable. They got this spot right there, so when you choke up, you know, like you don't feel like you're gonna slide whatsoever. You can hold it in just about any grip. I know liner locks are not always the most, you know, you don't have as much confidence as maybe some other locks. This one feels pretty solid though, I'll give it that. It definitely feels very solid, and if you're choked up, you know, if it did fail, you know, you're gonna stop it with your finger, at least hopefully. The one thing is the detent is light. It is a light detent. Maybe that's why they have some assisted versions, but you can light switch it and it hammers out there, or push button it. Both of those work extremely, extremely well. So while it has a light detent, it has a big flipper tab. So it is pretty easy to snap out there. And like I said, you know, it does feel like a very reliable, tough knife. And I've heard a lot of good things about AURORA knives being, you know, robust, tough knives that, you know, people have beat the hell out of and they just keep coming back for more. Deep carry clip that's reversible, just like the last ones. I think it's pretty damn cool, but you know, I'm not the biggest fan of these style plunge grinds, but I'm not gonna say anything about it because I understand what this knife is trying to go for and the style it's going for, and I don't want to, you know, make fun of the style. Then the last one we have is a fixed blade from Almar, and this one is very slim for the handle size. So you have an attitude adjuster back there as well, a nice choke up spot with texturing, really nice texturing, so you can bear down on it. Somewhat of a straight clip point, flat ground blade, and then this is I think it's a glass-filled nylon sheath, which typically you don't want, but this one does have the groove. So you see how it has a groove going down right there, so your edge is not rubbing it constantly. That's the problem with these types of sheaths. If you don't have that groove, they can make your edge dull. But check this out. We also have a ceramic rod here where you can tune your edge up, and it does work. It does work, so that's pretty damn cool. In the sheath, very nice, very tight, nice push-off point right there. Great resistance. It's cool. I like it. It is very comfortable in the hand. Like I said, nice choke up spot. This is definitely a blade that's going to be good for everything. You know, clip point blades, especially with the low tips like this is the kind I like. You can do utility cuts. You can cut down on flat surfaces. You can slice. You can fight with them. You can pretty much do anything with something like this. It's robust enough that you could hard use it. The blade steel, I don't see the blade steel on this one. I'm guessing it's D2 though. That's just my guess because of the other stuff. But yeah, if it's not, I'll put it up on the screen, but I just don't remember. Anyways, I think it's pretty damn cool. Again, choil is the one thing I would maybe complain about, is I wish there was like a notch there. But with these style, man, it's not that big of a deal. I would just sharpen up the grind because it's not going to hurt nothing. And yeah, if it started recurving, then maybe I'd add a little sharpening notch, but it'd be so long, like you'd get a lot of use out of it before that ever happened. But I'd like to get more knives from Almar on. Now, I haven't seen anything new from them in a while. Like, these knives have been out for a little while. I'm not sure what's going on with them. I know they still have a lot of knives online, so obviously you can still buy the designs that they've had. Maybe they have come out with new stuff and I just didn't know. But if not, I'm hoping that they continue to come out with new stuff, because we have went leaps and bounds the past 5 years, 10 years in the knife community. Like, compared to what things were 10 years ago to what they are now, wow, it is a big difference in a lot of things. The qualities, the steels, the heat treatments, everything has gotten significantly better. So I'd hate for Almar to get left behind. Hopefully they are planning on getting new designs out there and staying in the knife market. But there you guys go. Work hard, stay tough. Until next time, peace.